Hello, angels. Um, I actually recorded like full videos of like my playthrough of my Let's Play for all this like background that I'm about to say about the world that I'm getting into place for Theo to become king of. Um, but the actual Let's Play footage, like of the game itself, um, ended up not working out because the game crashed. And I was using OBS, and OBS is like totally fine. I don't really have any issues with it. It's just a learning curve for me to use it, even like when stuff like this happens. So when the game crashed, OBS, because I was doing like a window capture of the specific game, it like stayed on that last frame of the game before it crashed. And I didn't think to reset it when I went back in, when I reopened the game again to play it. So I lost all that Let's Play footage. However, now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna show you some screenshots of what I did in this game, just kind of like a background. So of like what I did in this Let's Play, just to get everything in place for Theo to become king. And this is part of the game that I really, really love. I really, really love how in The Sims you can just create the entire setting, the world. It's basically like a screenplay that you can direct with characters that you create. And that's one aspect of this game that I really like. You can make the set, you can have all the actors, you can do all of this in place. I've used this game in so many ways, like to like figure out stuff like about myself, a lot of self-exploration. But right now I just really want to play with the Royalty Let's Play. That it just seems very lush and very luxurious. And I really like that. And I've never done legacy stuff. I think that's kind of like, I'll do it with like other Sims that I don't really care about, but like legacy stuff is like, I don't really do that with like Sims that are like me, like reflections of me. So I'm like really excited about this pack because it's like a version of the game. Like at a certain point in this game, like you don't just want to go to work, you don't just want to make simoleons, you don't just want to like complete an aspiration that seems like you've done it all basically. And so I'm not doing the aspiration with this pack because that seems very evil to me. Just saying, like, to be a social puppeteer, that's the aspiration that came with the Royalty and Legacy pack. That seems very I don't want to play with that. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to do it. But I like everything else about this pack so far. I don't want to go into some of like the darker storylines. I mean, it is The Sims, so how dark can it get? I mean, I guess some people can make it very dark, but I'm playing this in the way that I would like to play it, and I'm excited to share it. So actually, without any further ado, I'm like staring at the screen right now of like these photos that I've compiled. So it's going to be a little bit harkening back to my first video here where it was kind of just like a photo summary, but instead of background, this is kind of like what I did over the last couple days, summarized. So here we go, without further ado. So here I am with Cassandra, which is Squishy's lineage, Adam's lineage, and we're kind of trying to figure stuff out. I'm like, well, he's now living with you, and actually yeah, there we go. It was just kind of, with photos you have to like pause and start a lot. So I'm like, okay, so there's a lot that we're trying to figure out. He's with your lineage, and she's like talking with me, and she's like, yeah, but what do you like? And so like we invite more people to the table, and for some reason our ranch hand got in on this puzzle game, so he's there. Squishy's there as well, which would be again Adam's higher self. And we've got Cassandra, which again is like this divine feminine aspect of him. And so like we're all talking, and again ranch hand, kind of random, whatever. And then this gentleman over here on the right hand side, he would be my divine higher self, masculine, my lineage, right? And so I start introducing my lineage into this gameplay too, because Adam has his lineage. It's very important for me to have mine as well. So I call this gentleman Craig. And For me, he is a reflection of God. It's not religious. I don't have a religion. It doesn't really matter if I have one or not, but just it's for me, this is how I understand all that is God, whatever. This is just kind of how I see myself at all these different levels. So, and I'm not saying like I feel godly here. No, I'm not saying that at all. I am saying that this is an aspect of me that is a higher level of me, and I brought him into this gameplay just for me. And Craig, in my lore, is married to my higher self, which would be a higher self version of me, just like how Squishy is a higher self version of Adam. Right, okay. Okay, here we go. So I bring Craig into this conversation too, because my lineage is important too. It's not just always about Adam, even though with our future alliance, with our two kingdoms, with our two lineages, it is important to have everyone at the table. So Craig's there too, and he's kind of looking at this puzzle as well. He should have the seat the ranch hand is in. The ranch hand's in it. Whatever. It's The Sims. It's not a big deal. Talking about my higher self. This is my higher self, and here she is. Actually, this was the end of a sword play that she did with Adam. That's Adam, like his actual, like Adam self, not his higher self, although they look very similar. However, the sword glitched out of her hand, and I loved this photo of her, so I'm going to use it just to introduce her. She doesn't have a sword in my play headcanon right now. Like, this is just her saying hi to Adam. She's also famous. I did that whole playthrough with her a long time ago, did not capture it. I don't want to do it again. I don't like that. I actually, like, when I reviewed my like when I went back into the game after not playing it for a couple months and I reviewed the whole, like, Get Famous pack, like, I love that pack, don't get me wrong, and it was so much fun when it came out, and I was like, oh my gosh, my Sims can be global superstars and, like, they can glow. That's exactly how my higher self feels. And so I played that out, and it was, like, amazing. So now she is a global superstar. She won't get rid of it. She completed that aspiration, so it's always with her, even if, like, she won't lose her fame, basically, even if she stops doing, like, the acting stuff and whatever. I actually didn't like a lot of the gigs she was getting after a while, like pretending to kiss people, like even on a set and stuff, like, because she was married with Craig, right, which would be my divine masculine, so it just started feeling wrong for her to do that after a while. So I'm really glad that I can kind of reintroduce her into this, and I have a story for her, but I'm really glad that she can be a royal too. So I'm so excited for that. It's just the lineage thing. It makes sense. I'm happy. So here she is. There's the paparazzi in the background, of course, because she's famous. She's there with Adam. She has, like, the paparazzi darling buff, so, like, every once in a while she'll just pause everything she's doing and walk over and pose for paparazzi, which I think is just so higher self. It's just so higher self. I love it. So yeah, she's there with Adam. She's saying hi to him. Then I have this, like, wonderful, wonderful idea. And this wonderful idea is I've met with everyone. Everyone has met Adam. Everyone knows Adam. Everyone loves Adam. Everybody loves this lineage. We're already married in game. So my great idea is, why don't I bring him back into this household? And it's okay. He can have his own lineage. I can have my own lineage, and we can be together. And so in the game, actually, just, like, side note, in the game, we went on a date, and this was the playthrough that didn't make it to air, I guess, because the game crashed, basically, and I didn't reset OBS, so there's a little bit of game and me going on there. But there was this date that we went on, and it was lovely, and I was like, yeah, we can, like, we're married, we're still gonna hang out all the time. He can come over all the time. I'll go over to his place. It'll be fine. We went on this date, and in the date, a random prompt came up, and I haven't played, like, too much with The Sims. I mean, I've played a lot, but this was the first time I've seen this prompt, so I haven't played in this way. And it was, hey, do you want to move into households? And because that prompt came up, I was like, and I wasn't expecting it. And I was like, yes, obviously, that's the obvious answer. So I clicked yes. So now he's back. But in my story mode here, what I'm retelling right now and kind of recreating this story is that my sim got a great idea. And she's like, why doesn't he just move back? Because I've talked with everyone. So I like both stories. They can coexist in my head. I don't have an issue with them coexisting. So here he is. He's here, and this is what that is. So yeah, he moves back in, and here he is tasting a beautiful, tasty dish. His home, I'm sure, had tasty dishes too. He lived in that beautiful castle in Mount Komorebi. Now he's here. We could go anywhere. The idea is that we can move around. We've got lineages everywhere, so we can do that. So here he is with Thea, like he's back into the family. Like Thea was doing a school project, we're all helping him. He even brought the cat back with him, which I like. It was our cat, so it's there. And we're just like really happy, and we're celebrating that. And this is another date we're going on. I can't remember at which point in my actual gameplay this was at. I'm sure he had moved back in at this point, but we have the soulmate aspiration, so we definitely are going to go on more dates. And he's going to sweep me off my feet, as always, which I really enjoy. Yeah, so I feel like he's happy to be back. I hope he is. In real life, this has nothing to do with real life, right? Like, we're always together. Like, we're just very happy. We're very lucky. We're very lucky, very blessed, very happy to be together. And we've gone through a lot together. And yeah, I just really, it's funny, like seeing this in games and like playing it out, because it's just kind of reflecting all the good feelings that I have about this. So I'm really, really happy about that. Then here we've got my higher self, and she's like, all right, hey, don't lose the plot. Come on, we're doing this playthrough. We want to do royal stuff. So I'm like, all right, so let's do a coronation ceremony for her. And so I do a coronation ceremony for her. And I invite a bunch of people, and I bestow a knighthood on her. And so she is now a royal too, and Adam's talking with everyone. He's talking with like my masculine, and Cordelia's there, who's like, I guess, the queen or queen-to-be of this particular Ondarian world. Cordelia has this wonderful idea, and you can see she's talking to my higher self, and my higher self is just like the question that Cordelia asked her was to do a sword fight. So they start sword fighting in the ballroom. Luckily, it's for fun, I think. And everyone's just kind of watching the sword fight between my higher self and Cordelia. And, my higher self just got into this world, right? She doesn't really know what's going on. Obviously, she loses. Rude Cordelia. So it was kind of humiliating. She had a humiliated buff after that, or embarrassed buff, actually. Debuff, I guess. But after that, she asks me for sword fight training, and I did change my hairdo in this to make it match what I normally have every day. Not right now, but normally. So she's practicing that. She's training on the dummy, and then she also asks Adam if he wants to train with her, because there's only so far a dummy can take you. And so Adam was like, yeah, sure, definitely. So they practice sword fighting together too. I'm being trained by my masculine as well. He's like doing chess with me, but the idea is that we're spending time together, getting to know each other. I'm also helping Anaram, my higher self, do the waltz. I'm teaching her that. She's doing all her noble duties. She's happy with it. She ends up getting promoted quite a bit. She's happy with that too. And then I have like this grander story plot. Again, not losing the plot. There's just a lot of moving pieces all at the same time. And again, I love The Sims for being able to do this. Like, you can pause time, you can come in and out of households, you can achieve certain things. Neighborhood Stories is a great addition to The Sims. I have some of that turned off. In fact, maybe all of it turned off for this specific gameplay, but I love that it exists, is there, and I've definitely played with it before. But I not losing the greater plot, I'm like, oh, well, I want my whole family to meet my whole family. So there are some other players that we haven't seen before too, and they're at the very edges of this photo, which we will get to. You don't even see their faces in this photo. But I wanted to throw a dinner party so we can all get to know each other. So so this is Craig, and this would be Craig's brother. They are brothers. One of them, like Craig, is like very much into movement. I've been very much into movement for most of my life, whether it's like moving from place to place, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you see that. And then, or like, just like, I liked going running for a very long time. Right now, not so much. It's cold, and I just feel like, I don't know, I just feel calmer in my energy, and that's okay. But oh yeah, and that was like a whole thing for me too, because that's another concept that I was playing with also there was the movement and knowledge, and there's this idea in I don't know, it's probably like some sort of math or science concept, but like you can't know where something is and how fast it's moving at the same time, something like that. And I loved that concept back when I learned of it in like college. And that was like years ago. So we've got Craig, movement, and then Scott is the other guy, knowledge. And here they're coexisting. They coexist in my Sims world, and they're brothers. And so the idea is Craig and Scott are like building this relationship too. They're getting to know each other. They're brothers. They already do know each other. But like, I wanted them all to come together. And also because, as you can see here, there is a young lady. I'm dancing awkwardly in the background. That's okay. But Scott has a daughter, and her name is Ivy. And the idea is that she can grow anywhere, just like knowledge. Knowledge can grow anywhere. And her last name is Love, because just holding that amount of love in all the knowledge is really good to help it kind of transmute. A lot of knowledge gained is gained sadly with sadness. So I think having a very young feminine, not in a taking advantage of way, but in a we can appreciate the love kind of way. I think that's very important in the space of knowledge. And of course, obviously, having this feminine would be something to love, respect, and also not protect in a way that takes away agency, but protect in a way that allows the agency of that love in the knowledge to flourish. So there's that. So yeah, that's Scott and his daughter. And again, I'm dancing very awkwardly in the background with my new hairstyle and a new dress. I just decided to change myself a little bit, which is so fitting for a gameplay where I'm introducing more characters into the world. And they're all like aspects that I would like to have together that create a whole picture for Theos to become king. Yes, here's a beautiful close-up of my beautiful dance moves. I know I'm amazing. So everyone else joins me on the dance floor too. It's a good dinner party. Dinner doesn't actually come until later. I just kind of showed that first photo out of order, but here we see Theos meeting Ivy. And so the idea is that Theos, which is from the lineage of movement, and Ivy from the lineage of knowledge, will come together. And it'll be like a reflection of that in wholeness. But Theos doesn't know it yet. He's just meeting Ivy right now. And obviously he feels a little bit insecure, as every teenager meeting a lovely lady might feel. And the lovely lady's talking with him. She's Ivy, you know, she has her own personality and everything. So they're getting to know each other. They're learning of each other. And so he asks her if they want to do some stargazing before dinner, and she says yes. And so they go out and they stargaze together. And it's just very romantic. I just like these photos. They're just enjoying each other, like, oh, look up at the stars. Very nice, very nice. So this is the actual dinner. I don't even know if I had enough chairs for everyone. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Funny enough, and you can kind of see his arm in the background, Dante was our chef, and that's okay. The meal was excellent. We had a lot of food. There's a lot left over in the fridge, which is great because my sim doesn't like to cook. So there's that. And we can see Theo's talking with Cassandra. There's Craig standing right behind him. There's Adam right there. And then we also have Scott and Squishy. at the table as well, with my higher self in that corner, and then Theos continues talking with Ivy. I think it was a very, very good dinner for everyone to meet each other, and Theos goes to bed with happy dreams. He has an aspiration though, so he needs to go work on his aspiration as well. So he goes to the horse ranch world and he participates in a horse race and he wins gold for the beginner endurance race. And I think that's so amazing. I think it's really fitting. It was just like a really good time. Like I had a really, really, really good gameplay for this. I do want him to be a master horse racer, and I do have a world in mind for him to be the king of, or king without quotes. So I'm excited for that. He will have his horse in that world, and I'm excited to continue doing this Let's Play. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully that wasn't too crazy, too much of a mouthful, but I had a lot of fun with this. I'm having a lot of fun exploring these ideas and concepts, and yeah, hopefully you had fun too. And thanks for playing. Cheers. Bye.